Today is June 6th. Welcome on in to Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com. We're brought to you by Royal Banks of Missouri and Munganess St. Louis Acura. I am Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey. And Rammer, before we get into all the daily card stuff, something I forgot to mention yesterday on the show, we have another Bob that's joining the roster here on Claibs Online. Bob Nightingale starting a podcast with Mike Claiborne next week, and that will only be heard right here on ClaibsOnline.com. A little baseball weekly for you with Mike Claiborne and Bob Nightingale, one of the most connected people in all of baseball media. So it'll be a nice look around the league, not just Cardinal related stuff, but all around Major League Baseball. So we welcome Bob Nightingale to the team here on Claibs Online.
Awesome.
Rammer, last night Cardinals lose 4-3 in a game that, again, they got off to a early lead. They lost a lead. They clawed back. And then it's kind of back to April where you find ways to lose games that you don't expect to lose games as the St. Louis Cardinals.
It was pretty terrible. Your Gold Glove third baseman botched several plays. One of them it's not fair to call it a botch, but it's a play that someone of his superior ability makes. He didn't make it that time, so it's not fair to count that against him. But then the pop flies and confusion on the infield. That's no good. The horrific circus of base running in the top of the eighth inning when you should have had the lead. And then you're in the ninth inning, your bullpen coughs it up. So you did as many things wrong as you could. And it finally, by the bottom of the ninth, it caught up to you.
Adam Wainwright in the game yesterday doesn't make it through the sixth inning, but makes it past the fifth inning as he goes 5 1/3 in the game. And you'd still like to see your starter go just a little bit longer, but I guess at this point, I mean, are we supposed to be happy with a starter still in the game in the sixth inning for the Cardinals?
Well, your fifth starter, I think, you can live with that. If you look around baseball, fifth starters are kind of hanging on. And so I thought it was in that relatively an acceptable performance. It really wasn't bad, actually.
The Cardinals get back after it today. 7:05 tonight is the start time. Before we get to our bootleg and tavern lineups for the game today, Rammer, really big baseball news coming out of Dallas, Texas, or Arlington, Texas, I should say, for the Rangers as one of the biggest free agent acquisitions. Jacob DeGrom was announced today. He is going to undergo Tommy John surgery, so out for all of this year, out for maybe till the All-Star break next year. What was
That'd
it?
Be reasonable.
5 years, $185 million for Jacob DeGrom this offseason, and the Rangers do not have him to make any kind of run that they plan on making this season.
He started the season off very well, though, so he got a little bit of a contribution as they got out of the gates fast. The difference in a Tommy John versus a thoracic outlet or a shoulder tear, rotator cuff, is that, the elbow will bounce back and be very strong. And he'll have hundreds and hundreds of innings in the elbow now. So, and it's reasonable to expect him back by the middle of the season next year. So all those things are as positive as it can be for a guy who's going to have surgery.
Yeah, that's it's another one of those. We talked yesterday, and I know we've mentioned this with the pitching a few times, but we talked yesterday about Adolis Garcia when the Cardinals released him, the Rangers also released him before he decided to be good, and that's one you can't look at Mo and go, what were you thinking with that? I think the Cardinals did their research, maybe did their due diligence on some of these free agent pitching acquisitions. When you look at how these pitchers have panned out so far this year. And outside of Jose Quintana, the injury that he suffered to take him out this season, which was not foreseen by anybody. I mean, I don't think you could have done any of that kind of research in just a regular physical or just an eye test for what happened to him. But I think with all the others, the Cardinals did a good job of evaluating what the pitching market was in the offseason for free agents.
Right. But you still can trade for pitching.
And I still believe they wanted to make a deal that they did not get. I think it's I think that there was a deal out there with a member of that's on the IL right now that maybe didn't get done. That's kind of how I look. That's kind of my assessment of what happened going into the offseason.
You know, it's funny. It's funny about the Quintana thing. I was okay with, had they signed him, hooray. But letting him go was okay because I felt like you had a whole staff of 5-inning guys, and that's what Quintana is too. He was really good last year for the Cardinals, but he was a 5-inning guy. Last year, you not only could you live with that, you were happy with it. But moving forward, you needed an ace, and he's not an ace. So I was okay.
Rammer, the lineups tonight brought to you by the Bootlegging family, which includes Second Shift Brewing. And Rammer, on Wednesday night, Second Shift Brewing will have a tasting starting at 5 p.m. out in of Steve and Libby. Let's see, it is the beer this weekend comes your way from. As I'm looking here, Hazy IPA, Session, and Barrel Aged Brews. The folks at Beer on a Wall, and I'm going here. Yeah, the weekly brewery feature, Second Shift Brewing, out at 5 p.m. Tasting at Second Shift Brewing. Head on out there. It's the Birds on the Bears, Cubs versus Cardinals in London. That is the official beer of the London series, along with many others that they will have on tap at 5 p.m. tomorrow for their tasting out at Second Shift Brewing, located in St. Louis. Find Second Shift Brewing. And also, too, I will tell you this, they have food and food trucks out there every single night of the week, including our friends at Central State Sandwiches, and they serve up those bootlegging pizzas each and every weekend. Brendan Donovan back at the leadoff spot. He is in left field. Paul Goldschmidt at first. Nolan Gorman at second. Nolan Arenado at third. Wilson Contreras behind the plate. Alec Burleson DHing. Paul DeYoung at short. Jordan Walker in right. And Tommy Edman is in center field. For the Rangers, Marcus Semien at second. Corey Seager DHing. Nathaniel Lowe at first. Adolis Garcia in right. Josh Young is at third. Robbie Grossman in left. Mitch Garver is behind the plate. Ezekiel Duran is at short, and Leody Taveras is in center field. Dane Dunning gets the start for the Rangers. Matthew Liberatore on the mound for the Cardinals. Another Matthew Liberatore start. Rammer, we talked about the fifth starter, Adam Wainwright, making it into the sixth inning yesterday. What do you want to see from Matthew Liberatore tonight in his start?
I don't know. I don't know. He's been sitting for 8 days, whatever it is. I don't know what to expect. I think they put him in a really bad spot, sitting him so long, and then having him go against the best offense in the American League when you could have pitched him Sunday against Pittsburgh. So I don't know what to expect. If he's great, hooray for our team. If he's not, I don't know that I'm going to hold that against him or use that as much of a negative evaluation. I think the kid's in a real tough spot tonight.
We will see how that all shakes out. 7:05 tonight. What were your thoughts on Globe Life Field last night that you saw as you were watching the game on TV?
Couldn't get much of a feel for it. The outfield wall's kind of tricked up. I don't mind that.
So the outfield walls out at Globe Life, Rammer, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because there's a story behind the outfield dimensions for the walls with that. So the dimensions out at Globe Life, they honor key players in Rangers history throughout the years. One of the walls down the left field line is 329 feet away, in honor of Adrian Beltre.
Who's 329 years old?
29. He wore number 29 for the so he wore number 29. The wall next to that, it is 334 feet away. 34. Nolan Ryan. In the gap, it is 372. That, of course, 1972, when the Rangers first played Major League Baseball. 410 feet away in center field for Michael Young, who wore number 10. Dead center, 407 away for Pudge Rodriguez. The 374 in the right field gap for the 74 turnaround gang for the Texas Rangers. Johnny Oates, he is honored by the wall that is 326 feet away down the right field line, and rammer from home plate to the backstop, it is 42 feet away in honor of Jackie Robinson.
Only 42 feet. I thought it had to be 60, but it's only 42. That's pretty tight.
As I'm looking here, that is what this says. I'm just reading. Yeah, the distance behind home plate, 42 feet in honor of Jackie Robinson.
That's pretty tight backstop.
Yeah,
for the big leagues. It's okay with me.
So there you go. All of big players in Rangers history all being honored for the dimensions of the walls. See how long that lasts before they have to make some moves in or out, depending on what the team looks like and how the performance goes over the years. Rammer, we are brought to you each and every day by Munganass Alton Toyota, Munganass St. Louis Acura, and also Royal Banks.
Royal Banks for over 60 years in St. Louis, and they've expanded in the last few years. That service really plays, whether you're in Granite or Jerseyville on the east side, St. Charles County, or up in northeast Missouri. Each and every branch feels like your hometown Royal Banks branch. 314-212-1500, Royal Banks of Missouri.
We will be back tomorrow to talk about the finale of Rangers and Cardinals, and hopefully a victory as the Cardinals look to get away from this 4-game losing streak. See if it happens tonight with Matthew Liberatore on the mound for the Redbirds. Until then, he is Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. Have a great rest of your Tuesday nights from all of us here at Daily Cards Live each and every day on ClaibsOnline.com.
At St. Louis Acura, we have over 100 new Acura models and over 160 pre-owned models in stock or on the way in May. Get 4.9% financing for up to 60 months on 2023 Acura MDXs, TLXs, Integras, and RDX models. Or get a certified rate as low as 3.49% on certified TLX and MDX models. And you can earn up to $1,500 in loyalty incentives. St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you.